Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is about retirement. Whether you're in retirement or whether you are planning it, this is going to be an interesting conversation for you. I've got 5 ways that we should think about it, and maybe you're thinking about one or two at the same time, but I want to share with you my own experience too with retirement, because I've been in a corporate world. I've left that to start my own business, and maybe that's something that you're planning to do. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. Now, we did a survey recently on 60andMe that we haven't got all the results of it yet collated, but I did look at some of them, and I was really surprised to see that about 75% of the women who responded to the survey said that they were retired. Now, I don't know whether that means that they've given up, work completely and just left, retired a corporate or a full-time job they were doing, and now doing something completely different. But it seems to me that living in retirement is as interesting and important a topic for us to talk about as planning for retirement. I mean, really, they go together, because if you haven't started to even think about what you're going to do when you are no longer working, you're left kind of spinning for a little while. And I've actually checked out a few Facebook groups and other groups of women who are retired. Like, the group is just, that's its whole purpose, is for women who are retired. And I'm surprised at the amount of people who just really honestly don't know what they're doing. And, in terms of don't know what they're doing, they don't know what direction they're going to take in retirement. They may also not know what they're doing. I put myself in that category sometimes. But anyway, the point is, when you're younger, you've got family, you've got commitments, and you've got a context. You've got a context for your purpose and your meaning in life. That is all you are focused on. And it can be, a transition period at the end of that working world where you are lost, where you really are an empty nester. And people use that phrase sometimes joyfully, like, yay, I'm free. No children in the house anymore. But also there's a lot of people who deal with it in a very, what do I do now? What is actually my purpose? What's the point of this whole thing? And there are some important considerations to think about, I think, when you're looking at retirement planning. So let's talk about planning first. And I think that then we can go into sort of, the actual act of being retired. But I mean, I'm difficult for me because I'm not retired in the sense that I'm working full time in my 70s. And probably a lot of you are doing that. So it's a unique, and there's a spectrum of, planning for retirement all the way through living in it, and, living with and flourishing and thriving in it. So the first thing to think about is time. How are you going to prioritize your time? Now, if you're thinking about retiring, say you've got, you've thought about it in advance. In a year's time, I'm going to retire. How are you going to spend your time when you're no longer going to work at 8 or 9 in the morning? What's your vision? Like, sit down. I think this is so helpful to do this, to actually sit down and think, what would my day actually look like? What are the 9 to 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever, 9 to whatever hours going to be filled with? Now, maybe for you, it's really simple. It's like, yes, I get to go scuba diving again, or I get to take up my craft, or I get to write that book, or I get to travel the world, whatever. There's so many people that maybe think, oh, that's it. I've got it. That's my plan. Maybe it'll be gardening. Maybe you're going to downsize your house and you're going to redecorate it and become an interior designer. Or, the list goes on and on and on. You can, explore the world. You can explore yourself. Maybe go on a retreat or two. Maybe go on, to women's groups meetings so that you can sort out something that was, that's held you back, that you haven't dealt with as you were, moving into the retirement age. Maybe it's to talk about your work itself. Maybe there's a new direction that you want to take with your work and your life. That's really important. Or you might just want to relax, relax and unwind. I mean, if you've done a really challenging job. I remember meeting a woman who had been a doctor, and it was like, let me relax. I just want to relax. And it's impossible when not impossible. It's challenging when your whole life has been geared to a rhythm. Your time has been structured for you. So prioritizing your time, how you're going to do that, is the first thing I think that that we can spend some time doing. The second thing is the process. Like you say, from the thought of retiring to the process of retiring, what is that going to be? What is the plan? Maybe there is going to be a change in location. You're going to move. Maybe you're going to downsize your house sell your house, move into an apartment, go live with friends, like do a co-living or co-housing. There's all kinds of like positioning things you have to do in order to make the transition to retirement. Is it going to be somewhere where you're going to have to learn how to do something new that you've never done before? What's that process going to be? The key here is action. What are the actions going to be that are going to take you into this next phase of your life? I mean, it's great to have the planning happening up here in your head, like I'm thinking what I'm going to do, but what are you going to actually do? What are the connections that you need to make? I actually, by the way, have gone back to LinkedIn, of all places. I haven't been there in like 10 years, but I went back and I found all kinds of people who, really are doing similar work, not work to 60andMe, but similar work in giving something of themselves. And the very people that I worked for are maybe doing something completely different, or people that worked for me are now doing something different. But anyway, the point being that who are the people that can help you guide yourself through this transition period into your retirement age? Make like a mission a month, like if you're going to retire in a year, make a mission a month to connect with one group, one organization, one, educational, read one book. You're going to do something. There's so many cool clubs actually. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of this tape on video, Facebook, there's a ton of Facebook groups on retiring women over 50, 60, 70, and doing things, planning together, and really thinking, what are the actions, the decisions, the movements that I'm going to have to take in order to get from where I am now to where I will be retired. And again, I even retired, that word just starts to then get really complicated because it means so many things to different people. Retirement from a full-time job, doing part-time, or doing something that you're starting yourself. Maybe it's an Etsy shop or a Fiverr account, or consultancy business based on your skills that you did. It's an opportunity that may be retirement, but with activity that's working, gaining money, that's earning you a salary. Because let's face it, I mean, not everybody was smart and saved all their money for retirement. A lot of women are on Social Security benefits, or just pulling from their retirement savings. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what it's there for, I suppose. But it's like some people didn't do that and are struggling now without work, without a full-time job to actually, pay the bills. And it's getting more expensive all the time. So anyway, that's the thing to remember. Then another thing, the third thing is action. And the next thing is embracing the season, knowing that, it's all good, that you're not going to be in the same circle of friends. You're not going to be invited to the same parties. Probably you're not going to be invited to the same workshops or job things, because your season has changed. You may have been an empty nester, just not dealing with that very well. You might have missing your children dramatically. I know I did. I still do. It's just my nature. I think it's just me. I just really, really am attached to my family, and maybe it's the same for you. Maybe you've got to take up some help as a caregiver for your own parents or a family member who's going through something. Maybe there's depression or anxiety in your home that you really, really need to deal with. It's really, maybe you want to volunteer. There's so many different things that you can do that are going to, enhance your life. You just have to know what they're going to be. And I think the most important thing to remember is that everything that you do as you go through retirement is going to be a process. It's not going to be the same as everybody else. Your situation is totally unique, and you are a unique human being that requires different connections, different friends, different opportunities. So what are you doing? It's your turn. It's your turn now for retirement planning or retirement activation. Have you prioritized your goals? Have you got a plan in place for making that transition? Have you thought about the time that you're going to spend in retirement and how it's going to impact your day-to-day life? Have you thought about the people that you're going to have in your retirement world? It's like a friend of mine once, Ray, said about, it's like you've got a Broadway show that you're trying to produce now. It's like your show. You can decide who's in the audience. You can decide the costumes. You can decide the hair, the makeup. You are the director, producer of this new retirement show that you're going to be putting on. And if you are, feeling a bit nervous and hesitant, come back to 60andMe. Join our Patreon group if you can, or supporters group. There's so many women there, helping each other with real life situations and getting together in real life too. Patreon.com/60andMe. But join the channel here. We've got 60andMe all over the place to support you through this new chapter of your life, and we really look forward to being by your side. We're all in different places, different psychological states of mind, but we are women in our 60s doing our best. And I really look forward to working with you and building your goals and building your future. So have a wonderful day wherever you are, everybody. Take very good care of yourselves, and we'll talk again very, very soon. Lots and lots of love.